state of mind, whether or not you find that place down there or heaven. In the meantime, yo-yo, yo-yo, yo, yo-yo, show me I'm happy, and I'll show you a path that's dead, real dead. Once I had to be a dream, but that dream got kicked in the head. Dream dead. I nearly had me that chauffeur and that black limousine. I nearly had me that penthouse, all them stacks of gold and green. Judge is gonna say, I'm putting you away for 4 years and 7 months.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening and welcome to Santorini. It is an honor and a privilege to have you join us here, getting set and ready for the first of the 5-star FEI International jumping classes this week. It is, of course, the Jarvis Insurance class to get us off and running in $35,000 is the total prize fund. Max von Zimmerman alongside me. And Max, what a list of 5-star riders this week.
Yeah, 14 of the top 100 in the world, 10 of the top 40, and yes, 5 of the top 15 in the world, including world number 1, Kent Farrington, in the list tonight. A field of 80 horse and rider combinations to compete in our first shot of seeing those 5-star riders in beautiful Santa Anita.
Absolutely, as you say, the first shot at seeing those superstars that we're going to see through the week. And we've got an exciting week coming up from the 5-star as well. We've got this class. It's very much the warm-up, as you like, for the 5-star riders this week. And then we're going to take you right the way through as well. So tomorrow we've got another big 5-star class as well. It is the $100,000 5-star, the welcome stakes there as well. And that's a chance where we see riders looking to qualify for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup here on Saturday. So, and then on Friday, we've got a speed challenge as well, the speed competition. And finally, the big FEI class of the week, the 1m60 Longines FEI Jumping World Cup of Los Angeles, of course, part of the North American League. And that is going to be exciting jumping, as you say. And Max, you were here last year. You saw many of the highlights. Again, a strong field of riders that we discussed. If you had to pick out 2 or 3 of your favorites in the classes this week, who are you going to choose?
Well, I wouldn't pick one or the other because at this level, it's like football. On any given Sunday, anybody can win. And, of course, it'll be Saturday night that decides the winners. Of course, last year in 2024, we had 5 clear in the main event. 4 of those riders, Carl Cook, Ian O'Neill, Vanessa Mannix, and Caitlin Campbell, all joining us back this year in 2025. So can Carl repeat? We'll have to wait and see on Saturday. Of course, we'll see all those riders, 17 countries, Sam, represented. Truly an international flavor to the 5-star event.
Absolutely. It's in this first class coming up, as we said, presented by Jarvis Insurance. 1.45 m the height of the fences as well. Under international rules, it's what we call a two-phase, so they have to jump clear and go inside the time allowed of 42 seconds over the first 8 fences. If they do, they then will progress on to fences 9 to 13. That's a jump-off phase, and that, Max, is where you're going to see the riders go as fast as they can to be crowned the winner tonight.
Well, we may and we may not. Many of these horse and rider combinations will come in, show through fences 1 through 8, and may tip their hat and save their horses for the welcome tomorrow night, or perhaps even, of course, the big class on Saturday, which they will have to qualify for. But, of course, they're still jumping for the winner's share of $35,000. So, yes, the contest tonight, even though the weather's a little cool, will be hot this evening.
Absolutely. And as you say, $35,000, very important. But the other thing is the Longines World Ranking points as well. It's a ranking Group D, and it's all about getting those Longines World Ranking points, because the more points they get, the higher they go up the world rankings. So, Max, you discussed these world rankings. We've got so many good riders, and they get to the top of the world rankings. Kent Farrington, the best rider in the world right now, by winning week in, week out at these big 5-star shows. And some very key sponsors here this week. The first of those, of course, Jarvis Insurance. So, Max, tell us more about Jarvis Insurance.
Of course, Jarvis Insurance Agency, where integrity, professionalism, loyalty, and compassion have been the cornerstone of our business for nearly 80 years. Of course, history speaks for itself. Proud to be the corporate sponsor of Split Rock Jumping Tour. We're here with you every step of the way from tragedy to triumph, as you have a dream worth protecting, so why entrust it to anyone else? It takes a horseman to understand, and Jarvis Insurance Agency offers all the coverage you need for that equine endeavors, whether it be equine mortality, worldwide coverage, farm, ranch, and liability. Jarvis Insurance Agency, protecting those dreams for the last 4 decades, thanking them for being proud traveling sponsor of Split Rock Jumping Tour.
Dreams are worth protecting, wherever that dream may lead. At Jarvis Insurance, we share your dream for equestrian sports. Jarvis Insurance is the leading international equine insurance agency in the world. Our team of professionals is here to assist you 24/7, and we offer worldwide coverage for all aspects of equine insurance, including traveling racehorses, show horses, Olympic competitors, and broodmares. And we are fully licensed in the U.S. and all EU countries. We are owned and operated by a family of horsemen who support and give back to our horse community. So you can rest assured that we have a pulse on the industry and will look out for you every step of the way. It's time to protect what truly matters. Jarvis Insurance.
And our grateful thanks as well to the other one of our key sponsors here this week, as title partner and official timekeeper of the series. Longines is proud to be associated with the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup North American League here in Los Angeles. Longines' passion for the equestrian world dates back to 1869, and today the brand is proud to support the most prestigious equestrian events across the globe. The event is also the perfect occasion to showcase the official watch, the Longines Prima Luna. With its graceful curves and timeless elegance, this automatic timepiece reflects Longines' true commitment to creating the best watches in the world. Thank you, Longines.
Longines, elegance is an attitude.
Go. And then take a look down the list. Carl Cook, Commander 1. Longines FEI jumping World Cup round here 12 months ago. Starts as number 12. Ken Farrington, world number 1. The superstar horse Toleana in the field tonight at number 20. Followed by McKay Ward and First Lady. Some of the biggest names in USA show jumping. In fact, in world show jumping as well. And Max, as we said, 85 combinations coming forward. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to get started.
Yes, and coming down the chute here will be our first of those 80 or so riders to compete here this evening. As you mentioned earlier, 17 horse and rider combinations from 17 different countries around the globe as an international field for the 5-star week will get underway with moments away from that first to go.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, grab yourselves a seat. Come and watch the action here because it's going to be exciting to get us started. 5-star jumping all the way. We have the world's very best riders here. Thank you, Longines, and thank you, C. Jarvis Insurance. The stage is set for the $35,000 C. Jarvis Insurance prize. Thank you, Longines. Thank you, C. Jarvis Insurance. Here we go. And what a way to start tonight with a man from Ireland. He's a world number 22 rider at the moment. He brings forward a new horse that he partnered with for the very first time in May this year. Riding the Verdi TN side, 10-year-old Kentucky TN. Put your hands together for first up, Ireland's Kieran Conner.
Well, a very good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Split Rock Jumping Tour show here in Santa Anita in LA. And we have this incredible competition for you to kick off the International 5-Star Week. This is the $35,000 C. Jarvis Insurance competition. It is two-phase. It's the opening class of the week, and we'll bring forward Cian O'Connor as your first starter on course with Kentucky TN. Cian at the moment ranks 22nd in the Longines World Rankings. Got some very highly ranked competitors at this show, including, of course, the world number 1, Kent Farrington. He will be coming later on. Reigning European champion Richard Vogel is to come as well. Cian with this horse placed 16th in the 5-Star Grand Prix at Monterey. Just last time out, a couple of weeks ago. And so, as you may be aware, in this two-phase competition, they have to tackle one phase, come home, of course, clear inside the time. The first phase takes us from fences 1 to 8, and they must complete that within 42 seconds. So there you see Cian O'Connor comes home with 2 time penalties, of course, 1 time penalty for every second started over the time allowed. So 2 time for Cian O'Connor and Kentucky TN in the first phase.
Just 31 years of age, 24 international wins for Charlotte Jacobs, competing now in her 101st 5-star event. Quarterback, Van der Ringer.
Well, Charlotte Jacobs, your next starter on course. Cormac van der Renger is her ride. This competition, of course, really known as not a warm-up per se. You know, it still has $35,000, but it's a great opportunity for these riders to really get a feel for the arena, especially jumping under the lights. And Charlotte Jacobs, your next starter here with this fantastic Korbach van der Renger is doing just that. She's a very talented competitor and really has some solid horses in her string at the moment. She ranks just outside the world's top 100 riders. Lucky enough to see her on the Major League show jumping circuit. And she makes it nicely through that double combination. But unfortunately, once again, it's the time that catches her out, and it feels that we will see that quite a lot in this competition. 10-year-old gelding there who is Dutch bred, and I'm sure we will see Charlotte in action as the week progresses. So 42 seconds that first phase time allowed. It's caught out our first two riders. Your course design team this week is led by Anderson Lima, and he is joined by Nick Granat and William Robertson. And we turn once again to Ireland now, to the turn of Connor Swale. Connor comes here from a really successful show in Toronto. Of course, that World Cup leg there was the precursor to this week's Longines FEI Jumping World Cup leg. He was the winner in Toronto with his other top ride, Castorano, and Klonterm Obolensky is a horse that he's had for a little while now, and he's certainly been getting stronger and stronger. You know, he rates this horse. Connor ranks 35th in the world at the moment. Unfortunately, picks up the 4 here with this 9-year-old gelding, but they had a great result in Tryon at the Major League leg, was second in the Grand Prix qualifier there. And they were also third in the 5-star qualifier ahead of the American Gold Cup at Traverse City back in September as well. So the time, of course, ticking up here. And so Connor comes home there over fence 8, but he will pick up quite a bit for time, just giving the horse a bit more of an educational experience in this ring. It really is quite a lot to take in under the lights, and 24 is his total score, so slots into 3rd place at this stage.
Of course, what can you not say about Richard Vogel, one of the finest riders in the world, including double gold at the League of Nations in 2024.
Richard Vogel is the rider we welcome into the ring next. We're still looking for a first phase clear here. Richard, of course, is your reigning European champion. This show has really attracted the very best riders from all across the globe. Richard, top 10 ranked at the moment, 6th, in fact, in the Longines World Ranking. This mount is Gangster Montdessier. Nice and smoothly down that shorter line. He is a 9-year-old stallion, and this horse is one with whom Richard won the Longines Grand Prix in Lyon with. That was just at the end of October. So once again, we're picking up some time here. And so 5 is the score for Richard Vogel with Gangster Montdessier. Just having a good spin around here to get their week going. And we very much look forward to seeing him later on in the week. Of course, that Longines FEI Jumping World Cup leg will take place on Saturday night. That is the big showdown. Tomorrow we'll also be bringing you an exciting competition, though. That will be the welcome class, the qualifier. As we turn to your second competitor for the USA, and this is Martijn van der Hoven. Martijn with Chance Encounter. We are still looking for a first phase clear. Cian O'Connor leads the way at the moment with 2 time penalties. Goes nice and boldly through the early part of this first phase. Combination had a good results in Tryon last year, has been relatively lightly competed this year, just in Traverse City and Lexington this year so far. So reaches over the final fence. You would have been in time, but sadly it goes down. And the score is 4. So into third place for Martin van der Hoven with a score of 4. Now your next competitor performed particularly well here last week. He is very competitive and good in the speed classes, and he was the winner of the 3-star speed here last week. That is, in fact, with this very horse, Dido van der Ruytersof Z. They also placed 5th in the welcome class and 11th in the 3-star Grand Prix last week. Just a single pole down. James Chalk, in fact, is the man in the saddle. I'm telling you all about the horse, but James Chalk in the saddle. So he has taken a win in a 3-star Grand Prix in Vancouver and speed classes there as well with this horse, but they're in the top 10 or even the top 6 more often than not. So it's a horse certainly with a good amount of pace. And James will be looking to capitalise on his success from last week's 3-star competitions. Remember that time allowed for the first phase is 42 seconds, so it is quite snug. That makes the spin back to the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup fence. Comes into the double here, see Jarvis Insurance fence. And we finally do have a... Oh, no! I was going to say we finally do look like we'll have a clear. Gosh, what a pity. So James Chalk just with that final fence as well. He obviously had an eye on the clock. 40.4 is a good time, but that final fence has gone once again. So a score of 4 for James.
Please welcome Great Britain's Charlie Jones.
Charlie Jones then is the rider we welcome into the ring now. He represents Great Britain and comes forward with capital 6. We are still looking for our first phase clear, let alone a double clear. So certainly the time has been influential. Just 42 seconds to be able to come home clear in the first phase. But Charlie Jones is going to give it his best shot. He's a top 200 ranked rider on the Longines World List. And his mount here, as I say, capital 6. Horse with whom he won a class in Spruce Meadows, a 2-star jump-off competition back in September. He's also had multiple podiums with this one at that 2- and 3-star level in Vancouver. Jumped the big 5-star Grand Prix in Spruce Meadows to just have a couple down with this horse for 14th. And they won a 4-star Grand Prix in Vancouver as well. He's certainly giving us a very good spin here. We finally do have a little bit more of a competitive running here. So through that double combination at 12, now he heads to the final fence. So the first competitor is home and dry through both phases, and Charlie Jones takes an early lead with a time of 30.6 in the second phase. Great to have one through to the second phase and certainly to get the double clear as well. So congratulations, of course, must go to Charlie Jones. Very good performance and well-deserved spot at the top of our leaderboard. This is going to be a very well-attended competition. We have 85 on our starting order.
Our next, Kelly Shaw, USA next.
And as I say, it's a really good opportunity for these competitors to get a feel for the ring, to let their horses take in the atmosphere, see what it's like here under the lights. Of course, those big classes later in the week will be under the lights as well. And Callie Schott makes a huge jump at the first with Ironics. She was the winner of last week's welcome class with Garant, of course, her 5-star Grand Prix winning horse. And she mentioned that she wanted to save Garant for the World Cup. But unfortunately, she's very bold down that line and she takes a pole early with Ironics. She placed 7th in the speed class with this horse, and you can see he's really got that natural foot speed and certainly a very quick time. The fastest for that first phase that we've had so far, 39.39. But pole down will put Callie Schott into 4th place. Charlie Jones, remember, your sole double clear, and his second phase time to beat is 30.6. Certainly looks like it's going to take some beating. Next, for the turn of Mark Watering and fellow Vanta Morven. Really opens the hand down that turn, encourages the balance, encourages the horse around these early right-handed turns. Again, they jumped in the 3-star Grand Prix here last week. Wasn't quite their day. Couple down and a time penalty. But Mark took on this ride from Arturo Parada Vallejo just in the summer of this year. So certainly building their partnership together. And sadly, it's the C. Jarvis Insurance double. He just seemed to lose his balance a little bit coming into the first element. So down it comes, and 40.92, but a score of 4 puts Mark Watering into 7th place. We swiftly move on then to your next competitor, Savannah Jenkins. Savannah brings forward Hector Duterre. Rider for the USA. Interesting, she's just maintaining the balance there on that turn on the right lead, preparing for the turn. That'll save her a little bit of time. She had a win in Traverse City with one of her other rides, and Hector Duterre is just 8 years old. The Salle Francais gelding. Savannah's begun competing this summer in Ottawa. She had a 4th place in a 2-star qualifier at in Rockwood in Ontario, that Major League Show Jumping Toronto leg. She's coming home solidly, but oh, what a pity. Once again, this time allowed is causing problems. She certainly didn't look to be hanging around either. Did what she could to save time, but it's very tight indeed. So 2 time penalties for Savannah Jenkins. Hers is 2nd place for now. She's a fraction faster than Kian O'Connor, who then drops into 3rd, with Charlie Jones remaining as your leader and the sole rider to make it through to the 2nd phase, let alone your sole double clear. That really is some feat. I just have a slight pause while we anticipate our next competitor into the ring. She will be representing Canada. But the top 3 so far looking like this. It goes Charlie Jones, Savannah Jenkins, and then Kian O'Connor. Ali Ramsey then is into the ring. Wonderful to see her here with this horse, her very top ride, and it is Bonita Van Het Kaisershof Z. Ali ranks 190th in the world at the moment, so in that top 200 bracket. And she's had such a brilliant partnership with Bonita for some time now. She's a 14-year-old mare, and Ali really is often very competitive. She had a win with Bonita in Del Mar in a 2-star winning round class. She also had a win at Traverse City in a 3-star qualifier and podiumed there in another welcome stake. Took wins, has taken wins with this horse though all across the United States and Canada, including the likes of Tryon and Caledon in Canada, as well as in the Desert International Horse Park. So she's coming home with a very good time here, and she's coming home clear. I said she was competitive, and she really is. So Ali Ramsey then and Bonita, she starts to motor through these fences. Fence 10 ticked off. 13 obstacles, of course, here, and she's trying to make a very tight turn. She manages it. You can just see how well she knows this horse. Keeps really to the right through the double and moves on quickly. Fence 13, then the final fence, and it's a brilliant performance from Ali Ramsey to give us a new leader already. 28.21. She is more than 2 seconds faster than Charlie Jones, and she's laid down a brilliant performance to take the top spot in this $35,000 Jarvis Insurance competition. Of course, a 2-phase class. Just the 2 of them have made it through to the 2nd phase so far. And Ali Ramsey now top of the tree. Brilliant, brilliant ride. Well, another rider that I, for one, am very excited to see here this week is Carl Cook with Candy. Carl with some hugely exciting rides at the moment. Of course, those iconic rides that we've seen him with over the last couple of months and years. A couple of newer rides as well. World number 38, and of course, an Olympic silver medalist from Paris. Candy is a 10-year-old mare then. Formerly with Ireland's Shane Carey, but with Carlson's 2024. A decent time here. Yes, he's made it through to our 2nd phase. So again, you know, we know he's such a good speed rider. He's podiumed with this horse over in Europe in some fast classes. La Touquet for one. Done well in Del Mar as well. And oof, that's a tricky turn. Really nearly caught out Ali Ramsey as well. And he's lost a little bit of the rhythm there. Could have cost him a bit of time. He's just 1 fence away from home. And sails it, but 28.76 is not quite quick enough, and so Carl Cook settles for 2nd place. Whoop, just a little bit of a spook there on the way out as well. So into 2nd with Ali Ramsey still holding on to the lead.
She had the biggest win of her career, 5-star Grand Prix victory in Brussels this year. With this horse actually called Dynasty de Beaufort, one of France's finest. Bonne chance, Dina Balvet.
Well, Nina Malavet is your next rider on course for France with Dynasty de Beaufort. Again, wonderful to see a rider of her caliber in action here. Certainly will be one that we'll be expecting to see as the week progresses. And what a talent she is. Really has an exciting string of horses. She is, of course, the leading under-25 rider in the world. World number 17 as well. She placed 12th in that World Cup leg in Toronto. And, oh, that is agonizingly close. A single 100th of a second over that time allowed for phase 1. My goodness me, it cannot get closer than that. And so, then certainly, sadly, excuse me, it's a single fault for Nina Malavey. What a pity. Does mean that she will slot a few places down our order. We will remain with Ali Ramsey as your leader. 28:21 is her second phase time. That's the time to beat. Carl Cook in second and Charlie Jones sitting in third. Those three, the only three heading into the second phase. So Nina Malavey has to settle for fourth for now. Braden James is swiftly into the ring. And he brings forward Lady Cassini 3. Oh, what a shame. First fence has gone for Braden. Just a little careless with those hind legs. What a pity. Of course, representative for Canada. So he's through this double combination now. Braden James then to the final obstacle. And sadly, the bell, of course, rings. The first fence has gone. And for the score for Braden James, he goes into 8th place. Ali Ramsey still leads. Well, we welcome Jamie Gornall next, a British rider here with First Lady SL. First Lady is a 10-year-old mare who is by Jarnac out of a mare by Toulon and is owned by Cherokee Sport Horses. Well, Jamie competed in Del Mar in August of this year with a couple of different horses, posting a couple of top 10 finishes. Didn't see him in the FEI Competition World in 2024. Well, sadly, that FEI fence has gone down, and similarly, he's a little bit deep into the double. And the first part comes down as well. The time is fine for Jamie with First Lady SL, but 2 poles down will put him into 14th place.
Yes, another young American rider from the Great Pacific Northwest, Rachel Long, take the field next, just 24 years of age.
We welcome Rachel Long to the ring now with Olympic van der Mayhover.
Here's Rachel Long with her entry, Olympic van der Mayhover. This is 3 riders.
In the 2-star 2-phase. The competitions there. Oh, what a shame. In September, I was going to say she could be a real contender for this title today, but sadly that Longines FEI Jumping World Cup fence has caught her out as well. So 8, the total score then for Rachel Long. She now takes 14th place.
Now we'll go from USA to Ireland next. Absolutely well, and this horse has been climbing up the ranks with this man as well. He's been tasting some big 5 stars this year on the Major League Shakeup Tour in Tryon and Cider Ridge as well. It is the Golden Hawk side, 9-year-old B Skyhawk, Ireland's
Michael Duffy steps up to the plate now for Ireland with B Sky Hawk. Very exciting competitor, and again, fantastic to have riders of this caliber competing here. Of course, they all particularly want that big prize on Saturday night, but there's certainly some very exciting competitions to come before then that they're aiming for as well. $35,000 tonight, $100,000 on the line for that welcome class tomorrow. And so Michael Duffy, he comes here having jumped in Oliva in Spain quite extensively in the last couple of weeks, developing some of his younger horses over there. But B Sky Hawk's last show was in Tryon on the Major League Show Jumping circuit. He placed 8th with this horse in the 5-star Grand Prix there. and was part of the winning Team Helios. Absolutely incredible sport for them to take the win. In fact, Tony Stormans clinched the win for them, winning that gold medal jump off. And Tony was actually the winner of the earlier class this afternoon. This horse is just 9 years old. And Michael just outside the world's top 250. Picks up some time here, though. 48.16 is a bit of a steady pace. 7 then is going to be the score.
Yeah, as one Canadian leads, we watch another Canadian enter as we welcome Aaron Ballard to the show ring aboard a long quarter century. This horse by Cornetto Belinsky and can on great breeding aboard this Française.
We move very swiftly then on to Aaron Ballard with Fave d'Orthuis. Erin also with an earlier win today. It's a really super horse for her. One of the top horses in her string. And Erin, what a hard-working and talented rider she is. I've seen her with a number of talented rides over the last couple of years, and she's always there or thereabouts among the world's best. She's 44th in the Longines World Ranking at the moment. Was an Olympian from Paris 2024 as well. Jumped the World Cup final a couple of years ago. And World Equestrian Games a few years ago, World Championships in Herning too. Fave is 10 years old now. She placed 14th in the World Cup at Traverse City with him, and was part of the 3-Star Nations Cup teams at Traverse City as well. So looks like the hand has gone up for Aaron Ballard. And in that second phase, just calling it a day. So opts to retire. And she'll drop down our order. Well, the arena team, of course, making sure that everything is as perfect as it should be with the footing there. Leading the way still is Canada's Ali Ramsey. The time to beat is 28.21. Of course, if you're just joining us, we are in the throes of the C. Jarvis Insurance Two-Phase competition. Plenty of riders being caught out, not only by the fences, but particularly by the time allowed as well in the first phase. So we only have had three make it through to the second phase. They're all double clears. Ali Ramsey is the fastest of them at this stage. World number 15, Gregory Watherley, is into view then. Hugely exciting to have Gregory here. He also tackled the 3-star classes last week and was 5th with this ride, Argentina de la Marchette. 3-time Olympian, of course. But has a rattle there. Just is taking his time a little bit here now. Just easing down these lines. And the bell goes. He'll pick up 2 time penalties, so 43.05, but that fence goes as well for Gregory Watherley. And in the first phase, it is a score of 6 for the Belgian rider.
Four riders have gone through the first phase into the second in our two-phase competition, proudly sponsored by C. Jarvis Insurance.
Well, still proving to be a tough competition.
28.21. Carl Cook and Candy, 28.76. As we turn our attention next to Tulena, the 11-year-old Zangerscheid here, as we could list many, many accomplishments, but we'll simply introduce you to world number 1, Kent Farrington.
Well, next up, we have the world number 1 here, Kent Farrington. Kent, of course, aiming for a record number of 5-star Grand Prix wins. Could he take that record this week? I'm sure he'd very much like to, but not much that Kent Farrington can't do, not much that has not been on his CV. Meant to jump in Wellington last week with a couple of his horses. Also jumped in Florida, but had not quite, in Washington, but didn't quite have the evening he would have liked there. He also finished third in the Major League Show Jumping Grand Prix in Tryon, that being with Greyer. Today he's bringing forward Tulina. An 11-year-old mare with whom he won the Major League Grand Prix in Greenwich. He's also 13th in that same series Grand Prix in Armenia. Second in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Saint-Tropez. Won a 4-star Grand Prix at WEC with this horse. He also won the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup leg in Thermal at the Desert Horse Park with Tulina last year. Takes one down, though, through the double combination. And a rider who I'm sure we will see later in the week. Just heads into fence 9 there, just to round things out. But one fence down for the world number 1 puts him into 14th place.
He's won medals galore for the United States of America. Tonight, riding the Superstar Horse First Lady, would you please welcome the USA's McLean Ward.
We welcome McLean Ward then now. Real icon of the sport here, of course. American rider. McLean ranks 11th in the world at the moment. Jumped the World Cup in Toronto with Le Louvre for 14th, and the same horse in Washington for 10th. Tonight, though, it's First Lady. Under his saddle, huge jump at first fence. He's taken titles with this mare this year in Wellington. Good few wins, in fact. Also won some classes at the Desert International Horse Park with this one over in Thermal. It's not too far from here, really. A 2 or 3 hours drive. Not far at all, over past Palm Springs. He's had wins with First Lady in places like Dinard as well, in Traverse City, in Rotterdam as well. She's been quite lightly competed this year. It's taken her to WEF, and then North Salem, Armenia, and then Washington. He is inside the time, though, in the first phase. Takes a stride out to the first obstacle. Keeps it left-handed. And McLean Ward very smoothly around this turn. That's the smoothest we've made the turn to the Longines Oxa. Remember, that time to beat is 28.21, but no, McLean Ward takes down the B element at the double combination. He's there on the clock, 27.53. What a time for McLean Ward. Nearly, well, 0.8 of a second, let's say. Faster than Ali Ramsey, but a pole down will put him into 4th place. Erin Ballard is going to be slotting into 5th then. Of course, she retired in the second phase, so she's still up there past those riders that didn't make it into the second phase. But 4th, the position at this point for McLean Ward, with Ali Ramsey still holding the top spot. How long will she hold that spot is, of course, one of the questions that we may ask ourselves. And Sarah Siegel is your next starter. Sarah, hailing from the USA, brings forward Boreal de Fondcom. Nice and smooth around these turns. Well, Sarah Siegel towards this final fence in the first phase. Jumps it well, but an earlier pole, of course, there. A score of 4. She's into 16th.
Such a shame it's delicate jumping tonight as well. 6 left to go before the first break comes up in the class as well. Vivu Center goes now, the 10-year-old by Vivant. The USA's Lisa Rolls is the rider. Third place with this rider, Delmar. Some brilliant classes there earlier this year.
We welcome Elisa Bros next with Vivu Center PS. Well, still that top 3 remains unchanged. Canada, the USA and Great Britain at the top of the leaderboard, with Elisa Bros now heading into this third fence. Plenty of scope with Vivu Center. She's 25th on the FEI Young Rider list. Silver medalist from the 2022 North American Youth Championships. She competed as a junior then. And still looking strong here. Yes, very good time in phase 1. 39.29 her time. Now she needs to keep the pace up, certainly if she's going to beat Ali Ramsey's time of 28.21. Looks at this stage like that would take some beating. And that's a very nice turn back, much smoother than our top 2, actually. She needs to keep it through the double. Yes, she has. 28.21 is the time to beat. Oh, she's going really on the angle there. Oh, not quite quick enough, though. Elisa Bros gives it her very best shot. She is faster than Carl Cook, and she'll take second for now. 28.21 was some time, and Elisa's not far away, but she will have to settle for a second place for now. Just to keep you abreast of our progress in today's competition, of course, 85 on our starting order, and we have brought you 6. In fact, no, we have brought you considerably more than 16. We have, in fact, brought you 23 so far, and 60 remain. We'll take a short pause at the halfway point. Michaela Langmayer then is into the arena now with Carlita. Ten-year-old mare who's Barclay Carleone and owned by Rafferty Farm. Another under 25 rider in front of us. She ranks 12th on that world list. Again, comes here from Florida. This horse's last show was Saugerties in September. Top 10s in Saugerties, top 10s in Ottawa as well, including 8th in the 5-star winning round. But no, it's the Seed Jarvis Insurance fence that goes, and a refusal at the final obstacle as well. Just had quite a lot of pace up there, and not the approach that she needed, unfortunately. So she'll retry. And nicely done at the second time of asking. That, of course, costly, though, on the time. And so 22 is the score for Michaela Langmayer and Carlita.
Moving on to our next to come forward now, another for the United States, another young rider who's been placed in some of the big 5-star Grand Prix of the Longines Global Champions Tour this year. The Marigold Sport Horses, Crescendo, and the USA's young rider, Natalie Dean.
We welcome Natalie Dean next then, with the Marigold Sport Horses owned Crescendo MBZ. Natalie ranks 109th on the Longines world list. Of course, she was very successful as a young rider, but out of those ranks now. She's competed at a World Cup final. And she has placed highly in some very prestigious 5-star Grand Prix across the world. All of them on that Longines Global Champions Tour. In fact, she took Crescendo to Rabat on that very series, as well as to New York, where she was 8th in the 5-star Grand Prix. Not quite to be today, though, working on the 4, of course. Goes a bit on the angle. She comes into the double combination. Just a fence from home there. Natalie Dean looks good for time. Yes, indeed she is. But the bell has rung, of course, with that score of 4. Looked a little surprised to hear the bell, but a sole pole down puts Natalie Dean into 13th place. Just the one down. Still not many riders have made it through to the second phase. To be precise, 6 of them have done so. 3 for the USA, 1 for Great Britain, 2 for Canada, with Ali Ramsey for Canada still leading the charge. Stella Wasserman is up next, riding her own Myla, of course a horse that she took on from Kent Farrington. She's 60th in the under-25 world list. And she's been a silver medalist in 2 North American Youth Championships, Juniors 2022 and Young Riders 2023. Very exciting combination. She's just finding her feet with this one still. This would only be her 3rd. Oh, what a pity. Very late falling pole. Light touch at the back rail. This would just be her 3rd FEI show with Myla. Jumped in Armenia for 12th in the 2-star Grand Prix. And jumped here last week in the 3-star competitions for 13th in the welcome stake. In fact, in the speed class, excuse me. So a single pole then. It's that blue Oxer at fence 3. We can just see that fence being rebuilt now. She goes into 13th with that single pole dropping.
Yeah, such a shame about that rally, as you say, going so well up until that point as well. Ali Ramsey, Lisa Rolls-Carlton, top 3, Canada, USA, and USA in the mix as well. We're going to move to the USA once more now, actually.
We'll turn over to Caitlin Campbell for your next starter, world number 99. Just a momentary pause while we await her arrival.
Jarvis Insurance, we're all very much looking forward to the rest of the evening as well. Going to be a great night of world show jumping. Some of the very best riders in the world here with us this week as well. Of course, the next of those coming forward very shortly. 2 left to go before the break. USA, followed by New Zealand as well. Thank you very much indeed to Jarvis Insurance, and thank you as well, of course, to Longines, the official timekeeper, title partner too of this Longines FEI World Cup week here in Santa Rita. It's wonderful to be back jumping under the lights as well. The weather fantastic.
Well, lovely to have this action here under the lights. Your view here is showing you the Riders' Lounge on the far side of the arena. That is packed out. There's a bit of a party going on there this evening. So riders enjoying that hospitality, and the view that you have here is just from the side of the VIP pavilion, which is absolutely stunning. Really fantastic hospitality on offer in there for owners, riders, sponsors. Very high-end experience in there, and of course a really exciting atmosphere for sport under the lights, and everybody very much looking forward to those big classes of the week. Caitlin Campbell, I'm sure, will be one of them. She comes forward then as the world number 99 with Paulina Delesco. This horse is actually 16 years old now. She finished 15th with another ride in the World Cup in Toronto, but has taken wins this year with this horse in Thermal and in Temecula. She's very good on the clock there, 38.07. So Caitlin Campbell with her experienced partner here, Paulina Delesco, looking for a top spot. She's looking to get to the USA. Wow, that's very tight. to the top of the tree. Oh, she's lost her martingale attachment there. Oh, what a pity. And has that just unsettled them? Potentially. She's trying to... Yeah, well done. Managed to stay in the saddle. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, a little bit of a tack issue there, and it looks like it has upset Paulina de Lescaut. And Caitlin notices now, and the hand goes up. Wise decision. Yeah, what a pity. They were going really fantastically, but that is such a shame. And so Caitlin, with that tack malfunction, is out of the running and has to retire. But that is the nature of the sport. Anything can happen. And that's, of course, any time as well. Real pity, though. From the USA, then, we go onwards to New Zealand for your new starter. Katie Laurie here with ZF Chaco Rio. Very big jump at the first from Katie Laurie. Two-time Olympian here from Hong Kong, well, Beijing in 2008 and Tokyo 2021. Beautifully balanced horse here. He's just 8 years old. Has been lightly competed. She took this horse to Spruce Meadows for a couple of months. Had a second place at the 2-star level and a 9th. And then last week, they were 18th in the 3-star speed. Jumped clear, though, and had a single pole down in the welcome stake for 22nd. And she's off very well in this second phase. Good shot there. Very powerful horse. Very strong hind end. As I say, he is just 8 years old. He's a New Zealand warm blood bred horse by Chaco Silver. 28-21 is the time to beat. She's not quite going to make it, but a very nice performance nonetheless from Katie Laurie and ZF Chaco Rio. She'll slot into 5th, 31-12 on the clock.
Couple of American riders, Elisa Rose and Carl Cook. Great Britain's Charlie Jones and now Katie Laurie from New Zealand. Rounding out the top 5 here, Sam, as we go to the break. A truly international field so far.
Well, here they are then, the current standings for you. Ali Ramsey still leading the way with her very solid partner, Bonita van Het Kaisershof C. Elisa Brosen second with Vivo Center PS. And Carl Cook in third with Candy. Not too many making it through to the second phase, that jump-off style phase, if you like. And Ali Ramsey, the best of them so far. You can see that those other two have come close.
Longines. Elegance is an attitude.
Believe in your dream. Believe in yourself. Believe in the beauty of special moments. Believe in trust, care, commitment. Always believe.
ESI, we are more than your average arena. We help take your dream and make it into a reality, no matter the size or location, from designing and building to maintaining your equestrian needs. Choose ESI to help you realize your equestrian dreams.
And then
moment spent at the barn. FarmVet makes shopping easy. From prescriptions to supplements, tack to grooming, all your essentials all in one place. Enjoy fast, free shipping plus auto ship options on top products for animals big and small. Shop online, over the phone, or in person. For over 20 years, FarmVet has been the trusted choice for serious equestrians.
at Horseflight, we have carefully put together a team of professionals to be there for our horses and clients.
Dreams are worth protecting. Elite. At C. Jarvis Insurance, we share your dream for equestrian sports. C. Jarvis Insurance is the leading international equine insurance agency in the world. Our team of professionals is here to assist you 24/7, and we offer worldwide coverage for all aspects of equine insurance, including traveling racehorses, show horses, Olympic competitors, and broodmares. And we are fully licensed in the US and all EU countries. We are owned and operated by a family of horsemen who support and give back to our horse community. So you can rest assured that we have a pulse on the industry and will look out for you every step of the way. It's time to protect what truly matters. C. Jarvis Insurance.
World Cup. It's all about Nick's go. City of White keeps going. Arrogate. What a horse! What a horse! They ran him off their feet in the Pegasus.
U.S. Equestrian. Thousands of equestrians have united
to watch, to learn, to experience, to compete. And the
Believe in trust, care, commitment.
Oxa, but no, he can't quite make it there. Oh, and in the background, you can just see some disappointment on the faces of his supporters on the kiss and cry. Good, the second time it was just the approach into the fence, just a little bit too tight. So, of course, the time will start to, or the penalties will start to tick up along with the time. What a pity. He looked like he was going pretty solidly, but he'll stop the clock in just under 48 seconds to come home with a score of 13 and into 7th place for the Mexican rider Arturo Corrada-Vallejo. Well, we welcome Jessica Springsteen to the arena now. Jessica won this very class last year. Great to get an early win under your belt, of course. And she brings forward once again Naomi Van Het-Keizershoff. She ranks 160th in the world at the moment. Of course, an Olympian from Tokyo. Went to Tryon to win the 2-star welcome stake with Naomi. Also had a 3-star speed class win in Armenia on the Major League circuit with her. Had a speed class win in Valkenswaard as well. And Naomi just couldn't quite make the back rail, but the time looks really good. Looks like she will beat the time. Yes, she does, 27:29. But unfortunately, the pole goes down for Jessica Springsteen. Vanessa 200th in the world right now. Super consistent rider. Well, Vanessa, nice and measured down these lines with Carmela. Had a 3rd place in a 2-star Grand Prix in Vancouver quite recently and took a win there as well in a 2-star qualifier, that coming in September. Now she's off and running for this 2nd phase. Let's see how quickly Vanessa Mannix can go. She's got a very, very tough time to beat. Got to be tight on this turn. I think that's possibly where Ali Ramsey's left the door open. And nice and smoothly done by Vanessa. She keeps quite central there, actually, but curves the line through the double. It is 28:21 to beat. That's a very good line into the last. And no, she's just not quite there either. Very, very close, though. 0.2 of a second into 2nd place. She certainly looks really pleased with that performance, though. Lots of practice there, practice under the lights, practice of the tight turns, and a brilliant way to kick the week off for Vanessa with Carmela Z. 14-year-old mare, of course, and Canada now holds the top 2 spots in this competition. As we welcome Sahana Ganesan now with My Ferrari. Elisa Bruce holds the 3rd place spot at this point. Cassidy Rain takes to the stage next with Jack. Cassidy, an under-25 rider. Talented young rider who's now really making her mark at the top of the sport. Competed in the North American Youth Championships this summer for Team 5th. Though with her horse Habab W. Jack is an 11-year-old gelded year at Traverse City as well. It's 42 seconds to get home. Might be tight. Yes, it is. And so, unfortunately, just 3 time penalties for Cassidy Rain and Jack. But a very nice round, a very nice way once again to kick their week off. And so just drops down the order a little. Cassidy goes into 16th place, in fact, with the 3-time penalties. So 10 now have made it through to our, in fact 11, sorry, have made it through to our second phase. And of the gold medal winning young rider team at the North American Youth Championships. That though with Andy's boy Bretonniere. And again, this time now looks good. She is coming, oh no, coming home clear, I was going to say, but sadly finds that final distance a little bit short. And it's down. So a score of 4 for Emmeline Adamic and Sidiam de Sainte-Anne. Real pity not to see them through to the second phase. But interview is Aaron Vale with Carissimo 25. World list at this point in time, finished 20th in the World Cup in Toronto, 17th in Washington. Both of those coming with his ride Gray's Inn. Carissimo, though, was his ride for the 2024 Longines League of Nations final. Kyle rides Glamour du Chanu, 9-year-old gelding. He finished 8th in the World Cup in Toronto last week. The result coming, though, with Casino Calvin. Third in a 3-star Grand Prix down in Spain in Veja de la Frontera. This is Glamour du Chanu's first show back stateside. As gelding has been competing over in Europe for quite a few months, taking top 10 finishes at La Baule and in Fontainebleau, as well as in Dublin. We're actually 6th in the 5-star Dublin Stakes. Through the double. The time's very good here as well for Kyle Tim. Very swiftly into the second phase. This looks like it could be a very good performance indeed. They've got such a lot of natural pace and very good rollback. Takes a stride out into the double. Oh, but the pace just causes that pole to fall. Such a light touch. And again, he's there on the clock. It's 27.93. And this is something we've seen a couple of times. A couple of riders beating Ali Ramsey's time, but not keeping the fences intact. And so Kyle Tim will drop down into 9th place, 27.93. Jessica Springsteen even faster than that. McLean Ward even faster as well, but those also just having a single pole down. Well, Cian O'Connor kicked things off for us in this competition. He was your first rider in. Picked up time penalties only in phase 1. And his mount for this second shot at this C. Jarvis Insurance Two-Phase competition is Pegasus, an 8-year-old gelding here. Two-star Grand Prix, won a 5-star speed class, second in a 5-star jump-off class. Those all coming very recently. And the horse successful in some young horse competitions in the summer as well in Europe. Just keeps coming over to fence 10. His rollback is good. Just hangs in the air a tiny bit. And solid through there as well. Now he's got to gallop for it. Oh, he is quick here. The time to beat, of course, 28:21. And no, just fractions of seconds separate these riders. Cian O'Connor gives it his very best shot, but 28:52 is his time, and that is only enough for third. Ali Ramsey still leads the way. Of course, the Canadian rider who has just managed to keep things faster than any other so far. Interestingly, that is Ali's sole ride in this class as well. Let's go then to the USA here once again. The turn of Genevieve Meyer with H. Kindness. Well, unfortunately, the front rail goes at 3. Not her day with this mount. Well, flies the last, but just a little bit for time as well. So 9 the total score for Genevieve.
Yeah, we'll stay in the US of A and welcome Catherine Dinan to the show right here. Katie joining us for the second year now in a row. Out of blue SCF, the 11-year-old Belgian Warmblood, entry of the Grant Road Partners. Here's the American, Katie Dinan.
Katie Dinan will be your next starter once again for the USA. She brings forward Out of the Blue, SCF.
Ali Ramsey still atop the leaderboard. Vanessa Mannix, Cian O'Connor, Lisa Rose, and Carl Cook. Top 5.
Katie ranking 165th in the Longines World List. Jumped a couple of World Cup legs this year as well. 15th in Washington, 23rd at Traverse City. Which also, though, was second in the 5-star qualifier at Traverse City. Podiumed as well at Lake Placid at the 3-star level back in the summer. Very nice through these related lines as well. She finished 8th in the World Cup final this year in Basel in Switzerland. Looks like she's going to come home with some time penalties, but it's certainly a nice way to get the week going. So yes, clear over fences and time to add. So 5 is the total score for Katie Dinan and Out of the Blue SCF.
Moving on to our next come forward, another for the host nation. Alexandra Biederman next up. Cornets Cookie is the rider. The next to come forward. Combination place one in Vancouver.
Well, our next rider on course will be Alexandra Biederman. She brings forward Cornets Cookie. So it's with a rather interesting way of going. 10-year-old mare who holds her head really very high in the air, but they had some good results last week, either jumping clear or just one down and a bit for time. Also had a couple of top 10s in Vancouver in the summer. Primarily over on this west coast. Of course, more and more shows coming up over in this area. Really creating a fantastic circuit in this part of the world. With Alexandra's best results with this horse have come in Thermal and in Vancouver. 4 it is, though, in phase 1 for Alexandra Biederman and Cornets Cookie. So she's into 30th place.
Yeah, right now, Ali Ramsey leading the way at 28.21 on the clock, followed by fellow Canadian Vanessa Mannix at 28.40. Ireland represented in the top 3 with Keen O'Connor, 28.52. Lisa Rose.
Well, from the USA, we go to Puerto Rico once again now for the turn of Mark Watering.
Puerto Rico represented by Mark Watering. That's on course with the 14-year-old.
Mark's second ride here is Limbasini RC. He sits 26th with his earlier ride, fellow Vanta Morven, with whom he just had a single pole down in phase 1. Well, Mark just had to steady there and regain the balance, but unfortunately pole down. And again, the C. Jarvis Insurance now comes down for him. Time is he's just over the time. So 9 the total score this time for Mark Watering and Limbasini RC. 38th is his position. Well, next up, we welcome Austria's Peter Paschenig. Peter's mount is Wannabe CS. A horse who's a 13-year-old stallion by warrant. As I say, hails from Austria. We have a really good representation of European riders at this show. Big prize money on offer on Saturday night. It's $400,000, in fact. This pair had a couple of fences down in the 3-star C. Jarvis Welcome last week, but he is home and dry through phase 1. So off we go into phase 2. Let's see if Peter Paschenig can try to topple Ali Ramsey from the top spot. He's keeping very tight lines, not necessarily the fastest over the ground though. And you certainly need to have a combination of the two to be able to take the title here. It's 28-21 to beat. He's close, just not quite close enough. So about nearly 2 seconds slower, in fact. So Peter Peschenig settles for 6th place for now with Wannabe CS.
We'll turn attention to the next rider coming on course. Once again, an American rider that needs no introduction, but we're going to try to anyway. The highest ranked lady rider in the world today at number 8. Here's Laura Kraut, next to show with the 9-year-old Lady D.
Have this next competitor in front of us in the ring. What a treat it is to see her in action at any time. And Laura Kraut is, of course, her name. Laura ranks 8th in the Longines World Ranking at the moment. She is the highest ranked female rider, but more importantly, she is one of the highest ranked riders in the world. Her mount is Lady D. And Laura won the World Cup leg at Washington with Très Bien. Lady D, perhaps not her most experienced ride, a 9-year-old mare, but one that came from Berber Diekman at the back end of last year. But Laura's already had wins with this horse at WEC, at WEF, Saint-Tropez, Ascona, and podiumed in Saint-Tropez as well. So she is off and running now into this second phase. Makes a very nice swing back. She'll land a little bit left-handed there. That might help her towards the double. Really good through there as well. Just the final fence to go then. Laura Kraut has a time to beat of 28.21, and she is miles inside, 27.59. We finally have a new leader. Brilliant performance from Laura Kraut and Lady D, this 9-year-old mare. We have a new rider at the top of our leaderboard. The USA then take over that top spot. Ali Ramsey now has to settle for 2nd. Vanessa Mannix is knocked into 3rd. We turn to Belgium once again then now for the turn of Gregory Wathelet. Really do have some of the highest ranked riders in the world here. Of course, world number 1, Kent Farrington in attendance. World number 6, Richard Bogle. Number 8, Laura Kraut. Number 11, McLean Ward. Just to name a few, Nina Malevi in 17th. Plenty more as well. Gregory is at 15th at the moment in those Longines World Rankings, and his mount is Ace of Hearts for his 2nd shot at this competition. Gregory sits 35th with Argentina de la Marchette. Pole down and a couple for time for them. Experienced horse, a 15-year-old gelding. But he's opting for a nice measured round. Looks like he might well be inside the time here. No, just outside. 0.2 of a second will separate Gregory from the 2nd phase. So a single time penalty puts him into 18th place at this stage.
So USA, Canada. That is the leaderboard right now. USA's Laura Kraut leading with Lady D. 27.59 is the time to beat, Max.
Yeah, great effort. Of course, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to join us here in the Grand Prix Rider Lounge. Welcome to join Relax Easy from 6 to 9 for the C. Jarvis Insurance Exhibitor Welcome Party, happening now until 9 p.m.
Well, Ali Ramsey was leading the way in this competition for some time.
Now Ali Ramsey returns with her 2nd ride, this time aboard Conrado 12-year-old Sengershad by Cartento Guirado. .27.59, the new time to beat. Ali on her 1st horse, Bonita, 28.21, still in 2nd.
So, Ali, as I say, was leading for some time with Bonita van het Keizershof. But Conrado 12 is her 2nd ride here today, and he certainly is a one that with whom she can be very competitive. Again, an enormous jump at the first. Conrado, 12 years old, by Cardento. Owned by David Sport Horses and Ramsey Equestrian. Sadly, already a fall, though, for Ali. What a pity. Just that blue-coloured oxer on the far side of the ring. She still sits second. She had such a brilliant time with Bonita. So sadly, not to be today with Conrado. Just a single pole, though. And I am sure that we will see them later in the week being just as competitive as ever. It was actually 6th in the 3-star Grand Prix last week. Well, Jeanne Sadran is the French young rider that we welcome to the ring next. Jeanne ranks 3rd on the FEI Jumping Under 25 ranking, 64th on the Longines World ranking. And her mount is Crisscross Z. She finished 4th in the 3-star Grand Prix here last week with Nopal Van Tayet. Looking to improve on that, of course. If she can, of course, this week, quite considerably, well, not considerably, but a higher level. It's a 5-star week, huge prize money on offer. Saint-Tropez, her most recent show with Crisscross. Also jumped in Paris for a top 10 in the 5-star Two-Phase there. Also came from Jana Vargas about a year ago. Well, she'll take the final fence and pick up some time penalties as well. So 9 is the overall score for Jeanne Sadran, the 3rd ranked under 25 rider in the world. She comes home then with that score of 9.
That's for sure, as we welcome the number 6 ranked rider in the world back to the show ring, Richard Vogel, the German here, this time with the 9-year-old Holsteiner on quality. Richard joining us straight from Stuttgart, Germany, of course, a 2-time World Cup finalist. Just 28 years of age for Richard Vogel, but already 239 international wins. The number 6 rider in the world. Let's see him now. Richard Vogel.
We welcome world number 6 and the reigning European champion into the ring once again. It is, of course, Richard Vogel, this time with Con Quality. Richie, as always, has had some very good World Cup results this season as well. 10th in Lyon, 5th in Verona. Had some very good results with his earlier ride as well. This one, a newer horse, came from Adrian Schmid via Sophie Hinners. And Richie took the win in a 2-star qualifier in Greenwich with this one. Very fast in phase 1 here today. Also won the 5-star winning round in Armenia, that major league show, with this horse. And that's a superb turn back, but no, took the stride out and he went for the risk. Oh, where are we heading here? No, unfortunately, really lost the straightness, actually. Seemed to have a little bit of a steering issue there towards the double combination. What a pity. Just really got themselves a little bit unsettled, I think, once they'd had that problem at the Longines Oxer. He just settles Con Quality down. But the horse is 9 years old, still relatively young. And perhaps hasn't jumped under lights like this very much. Certainly Richie's first time jumping this one under lights, so reapproaching then to the double. and confidently through this time. And he can just ease around to the uprights to finish things off. And a good educational round for Con Quality. 14 there will be the final score then. So let's take a look at the leaderboard for now then. Laura Kraut leads the way with Lady D. The leading time is 27:59. Ali Ramsey sits second with Bonita Van Het Kaisershoff with 28:21. And Vanessa Mannix sits in third with a second phase time of 28:40. Her with Carmela Z. Chandler Meadows is up next, bringing forward Puskas de Calvary. Horse that she owns herself. Primary ride for her at the moment. 7th was a very good result for them in a jumper classic in Armenia. Takes the split rock plank down there though. Not too many riders have actually had that fence down. Well, at the split rock plank. So Chandler Meadows will drop into 36th place.
Absolutely, and how wonderful is it to have this man here. He really is the firepower in the world of shade jumping, one of the very best. And this horse too is a force to be reckoned with. Running Caracol de la Rock. Good luck, USA's Carl Cook.
We welcome Carl Cook once again here. Carl this time bringing forward Caracol de la Rock. Such a solid partnership. Carl, of course, 38th in the world at the moment. And really suits these very fast, lightly built types. If you haven't seen it yet, do go and have a look on the Split Rock Jumping Tour social channels, where you will see Carl Cook galloping on a racehorse around this track earlier on today. Brilliant to see. Really interesting to see him on a completely different horse. So do go and have a look at that if you haven't already seen it. He is, of course, characteristically speedy through phase 1, and so with Caracol, he's off and into the second phase. He won the 5-star Grand Prix in Falsterbo in July with this mount. Also won a 5-star Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez. And this is, as I say, characteristically quick as well. He won the World Cup qualifier here last year with Caracol. And this looks extremely quick. And 27:72. No, he's not quite quick enough. Time to beat was 27:59, and Carl Cook has to settle for second place here. He's also very quick with Candy, double clear in 28:76. So now Carl Cook sits second and 7th. That takes some doing. This competition has been getting stronger and stronger.
The Netherlands.
Well, we welcome Matthijs van Asten to the ring now. Dutch rider with Orlando van der Afspanning. Well, Mattis took second in the welcome stake last week here. This horse formerly competed by Vanni Kozler. Very nicely through phase one. He's got just over half a second to spare there. Had a win with this one in a 3-star Grand Prix in Oliva. And yeah, really nice on that turn back. Smooth, efficient line. So the time to beat now is 27:59. That's the time of Laura Croughton. My goodness me, look at that time, 25:70. Mattis van Asten, that is blisteringly fast. That is quite incredible. It was certainly that final line where he really made up the time. He takes the lead by not much less than 2 seconds. That is quite incredible. These times stood for some time. And Mattis van Asten just casually comes into the ring here at Santa Anita Park, blows them all out of the water. So he is your new leader. And new time to beat is 25.7 seconds. Just 25 seconds. Very, very fast indeed. Michael Duffy now brings forward Chili Pepper HMZ. (157th ranked rider in the world. Went down to the Sunshine Tour after Tryon to compete quite extensively there. Now back stateside. Of course, these riders really can travel all over the world now. This horse was previously a ride for Lily Keenan. Michael riding this one to a 5th place in Saugerties. Makes a nice swing back there. Now, he really seemed to think that a tight rollback to the first fence in the 2nd phase would save him time, and he might well be right. It's not something that our earlier riders have really had on their radar too much. But the time to beat is 25:70. Michael Duffy, though, easing down to the final fence, and 27:73 is his time. So he'll slot straight into 4th place for Ireland. Mattis van Asten leads the way then for the Netherlands. Let's take a look at that leaderboard. Orlando van der Afspanning, the horse at the top. Laura Kraut is in 2nd place for the USA with Lady D, and Carl Cook is in 3rd, Caracol de la Roque. We welcome Caitlin Campbell back to the ring now with Carius. Bigger striding with Caitlin. Caitlin 99th on the world list. She's competed this horse for some time at the top of the sport. He's 10 years old though. Had some good results this year. Coming at Traverse City, North Salem. She's inside the time. What's she going to decide to do here? Yeah, continuing on. Almost looked like she was going to decide to call it a day, and indeed now she does. The hand goes up, and Caitlin Campbell opts to retire from phase 2. Just giving themselves a little bit of a spin around the ring, getting to grips with this environment. And so opts to retire there. We welcome Stella Wasserman once again now. Stella's second ride is Precious Divershagen. Stella representing the USA, of course, 60th ranked under 25 rider in the world. Of course, we saw her earlier on with Myla. Very exciting new ride for her. Precious Divershagen is a 10-year-old Belgian-bred mare with whom she was 4th in the 5-star winning round at Traverse City and 4th in the American Gold Cup this year. Really great performances. She's also had podiums at Bridgehampton this year. And this horse, a former ride of Olivier Philippart's. Olivier actually took this horse to 6th place in the 5-star World Cup in Mechelen. But unfortunately, fence 3, that blue oxer, still continues to cause a few problems. Well, a couple for time as well for Stella Wasserman. So this total score is 6 from phase 1. She'll slot into 44th place with that in mind. We are, however, preparing for our second drag break of the evening. As I say, it's a very well-attended class here. We do actually have a rather huge 85 on the starting order. But here are the current standings then. Matthijs van Asten leads the way with that fantastic phase 2 time of 25.7 with Orlando van der Afspanning. Second place at the moment, Laurel Kraut. Third place, Carl Cook. So we will take a short pause now. That pause will be no more than 10 minutes in length. We very much look forward to bringing you the final part of this $35,000 C. Jarvis Insurance Two-Phase competition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Longines, elegance is an attitude.
Believe in your dream. Believe in yourself. Believe in the beauty of special moments. Believe in trust, care, commitment. Always believe.
ESI, we are more than your average arena. We help take your dream and make it into a reality, no matter the size or location. From designing and building to maintaining your equestrian needs, choose ESI to help you realize your equestrian dreams.
At the end of the day, good footing is the best thing that you could offer your horse.
Your horse takes priority. Every ride, every investment, every moment spent at the barn. Farm Vet makes shopping easy. From prescriptions to supplements, tack to grooming, all your essentials all in one place. Enjoy fast, free shipping plus auto ship options on top products for animals big and small. Shop online, over the phone, or in person. For over 20 years, Farm Vet has been the trusted choice for serious equestrians.
At Horseflight, we have carefully put together a team of professionals to be there for our horses and clients. We are horsemen and horsewomen first, so it's easy for us to treat your horse like our own.
We take pride in providing the best customer service in the industry.
Once you get to know our team, you'll see that it makes a difference. When you're ready to get your horse home, visit us at horseflight.com.
Dreams are worth protecting, wherever that dream may lead. At C. Jarvis Insurance, we share your dream for equestrian sports. C. Jarvis Insurance is the leading international equine insurance agency in the world. Our team of professionals is here to assist you 24/7, and we offer worldwide coverage for all aspects of equine insurance, including traveling racehorses, show horses, Olympic competitors, and broodmares. And we are fully licensed in the US and all EU countries. We are owned and operated by a family of horsemen who support and give back to our horse community. So you can rest assured that we have a pulse on the industry and will look out for you every step of the way. It's time to protect what truly matters. C. Jarvis Insurance.
They're off in the Pegasus World Cup. It's all about Nick's Go. City of Light keeps going. Arrogate. What a horse! They ran him off their feet in the Pegasus.
U.S. Equestrian. Thousands of equestrians have united
To watch, to learn, to experience, to compete. In the pursuit of fairness, safety, welfare, and joy.
From the grassroots to the Olympic Games.
Each with personal goals, but all united together for the joy of horse sports.
Ride united. Ride with U.S. Equestrian.
In equestrian sport, equine and human athletes compete as one, but a team of many stand behind each. Together, we are unmatched in our commitment. Looking back, our athletes have won 235 medals over the past 60 years. And now, we look to the future, share the dream, become a part of the U.S. Equestrian team. Together, we can raise the bar.
yourself. Believe in the beauty of special moments. Believe in trust, care, commitment. Always believe.
Our grateful thanks to Longines as well. Very much looking forward to Longines FEI Jumping World Cup tournament this Saturday night as well. Thank you, Longines, as we said. And thank you to Jarvis Insurance, the sponsors, the very kind sponsors of this class. $35,000 league total prize fund as well. And the first after the break en route to join us. So we still got 28 left to go. It is Netherlands, USA, the top three, Ireland sneaking into the top 5 and 4th, and Canada in there as well. They are the best of 5 nations. Max, this has been a great class so far.
It has been here a good mix of riders that are just getting their horses into the ring and a good mix of riders that are actually going for it. When they do go for it, man, what an exciting jump off we've had. 25.70 on the clock, leading the way. We'll be right back with the top of the order for the final third of tonight's competition for those 5-star riders. Be sure to join us tomorrow for the $100,000 welcome happening as well.
First up after break, coming in to join us now, riding a 13-year-old horse by the great Cube riding on us. Of course, that horse won medals for the Zimana before now. Aviator Z, USA's Laura Height.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good evening. Of course, midway through this $35,000 C. Jarvis Insurance opening class of the week for the FEI competitions. At this stage, Matthijs van Asten leads the way with Orlando van der Afspanning, and the second phase time to beat is a blisteringly fast 25.7. We do welcome into the ring now Laura Height. Laura brings forward Aviator Z, who is a 13-year-old gelding by Breitling. She's quickly then away in this second phase. Oof, but a little too sharp on the rollback and refusal. Sadly, she did well to stay in the saddle. She'll pick up some time here in the second phase as well. She's just heading into the final obstacle and clears that well, but 15 will be the final score for Laura Heiter and Aviator Z. Sadly, not quite her day today.
We'll stay in the USA. Welcome Olivia Kleiber next to the show ring with Connor 69, the 12-year-old Holsteiner on the mark equestrian. Olivia Kleiber, USA. Olivia showed here in our inaugural 5-star event last year, top placings throughout the competition season, including at Traverse City.
We'll continue with another US competitor now. It will be Olivia Kleiber with Connor 69. Just had a couple down in the 3-star Grand Prix last week with Connor. And her best result recently was a 6th place in the 3-star welcome stake at Traverse City. That was in September. She also finished top 5 at Thermal earlier on in the year. That coming in a 2-phase. It's not going to be the same, not going to be the case today, unfortunately. Well, she'll come home just on the 4 then. She's inside the time, but a single pole for Olivia Cliver and Connor 69 puts her into 38.
French young rider, well, number 17, Nina Malve.
Well, from the USA, we go over to France once again now then. For the turn of Nina Malave. She brings forward Lamkel ZETB. She is, of course, the leading under-25 rider in the world. It's her 2nd ride here tonight. And this one, quite a large horse, very powerfully built. He's a 9-year-old gelding. She jumped in the 2-star classes in Toronto last week for a 4th and a 7th. The 7th coming in that 2-star Grand Prix. Also finished 2nd in a 3-star Grand Prix in Brussels in the summer with this ride. Horse that was competed by Italy's Andrea Bernatti, also by Cassidy Rain. Sadly has that early fault. It's the first racing fence just coming into phase 2. Nina very much admired the world over for her riding. So she'll come home with that score of 4:32 seconds in the 2nd phase. Nina Malave comes home with a score of 16.
He was 30.60 right now, just still inside the top 12 overall. Shows you just how fast this class has been. We welcome back Charlie Jones now.
Welcome Charlie Jones once again now here. Charlie rides for Great Britain, and his mount is Jacksonville Eurohill. Well, Charlie's horse here is an 11-year-old gelding who is by Emerald, out of a mare by Carambol. Horse is owned by Guy Bloodstock and Christopher Burton. Charlie, again, making quite the measured approach around the course here. Good at that FEI Jumping World Cup fence. Time might be a little bit tight here. Remember, the time allowed for the first phase is 42 seconds. Yeah, just slightly over. And that time allowed in phase 1 has been influential. He just takes on fence 9 there. He'd already started the turn, but actually takes that down as well. So Charlie Jones then a single time penalty. Not a huge amount wrong there, but he'll go into 26th place. We return to Mexico for the turn of Arturo Parada Vallejo now, with Valento this time. Valento, 14 years old, owned by Eiken Sato and Paul Schockemoeller. Horse formerly with Patrick Stuhlmeier, and then with Japan's Karen Polly. Carson Cunnings of the USA briefly Francis Derwin as well. Now with Arturo since the middle of this year. Well, he picks up the time there as well. 4 is going to be his score, but solely time penalties for Arturo Parada Vallejo and Valento. 45th his position.
The 400 will be the next to show for the 9-year-old by Cornetto Lee. This is Cornetto Rouge PS, a Paul Schockemoeller bred horse. Our dog of the Oldenburg. Here's the 400 USA. It's Van Asten, the Netherlands, leading the way very fast indeed, almost 2 full seconds ahead of the rest of the field. 25.70 time to beat. Laura Kraut and Carl Cook right behind 27.5, 27.7.
Well, we move swiftly on with this competition here with your next starter, Nicole Haunert with Cornetto Rouge PS. Well, still on the list, we have Matthijs van Asten as your leading rider, and that is agonizing for Nicole Haunert, 400ths of a second over the time allowed. So she goes into 25th place.
Yeah, just a little wrong time there, as you say, Max, when they Amanda Roll, because now she's ridden this source of Longines FBI, Jumping World Cup finals before now. USA's charge once again. Karen Langmar, USA.
All right, then, for your next starter, we welcome Michaela Langmare. Michaela's mount is Mimosa van der Rollebeek. And she's your next rider in for the USA. #12th ranked under 25 rider in the world here. Has a good few strong horses in her string. We saw her jump very well in Traverse City in the summer. And in fact, with this horse, she was 13th in the World Cup there, just a single pole down. Also finished on the 4th placed 4-Star Nations Cup team in Vancouver in the summer. Jumped the World Cup leg in Thermal last year, or well, earlier this year, I would say, for 3rd. But today it's 2 time penalties in phase 1 for Michaela. Drops a little way down at the order with that in mind.
17 total countries represented this week with single riders from 10 of those countries, including the next rider right now from Colombia, Nicholas Gamboa, or the 90-year-old Dutch warm blood Twilight next to show. Nico joining us here for the first time, C. Jarvis Insurance Two-Phase class with Matthijs van Asten leading the way. Double clear, 25.70.
We welcome Nicolas Gamboa now for Colombia with Twilight. Just unfortunate to have that pole there. The split rock plank is quite delicate. So the single pole now for Nicolas Gamboa as he gets a little to see in action. Of course, the world #1 in attendance, but several of the world's top 10 riders in attendance as well. Likes of this man, indeed, one of the very best in the world. It is, of course, McLean Ward. This time he brings forward High Star Hero. And there is not much that McLean Ward hasn't achieved in his career. He really is an icon of the sport. 11th in the world at the moment. This horse, High Star Hero, is a 12-year-old gelding. Belgian bred. This is a horse with whom he was 12th in the World Cup leg at Traverse City, 6th in the 5-star Grand Prix in Tryon, and similarly 6th in the 5-star Grand Prix in Armenia, those two Major League show jumping legs. Also won a 5-star Grand Prix qualifier with this horse in Bridgehampton, and won the Starwag Prize in Aachen with High Star Hero 2. Other wins this year coming in La Ball, in North Salem, just to name a few. So, of course, ever again, very, very consistent competitor. He's going to pick up a bit for time, though, as well. Just took it a little bit easy there. He knows that he can use this class to really set up for the week ahead, giving his horse or horses here the opportunity to get a feel for the arena. It does create quite a different atmosphere to be jumping under the lights. Often in these evening classes, we do have slightly smaller arenas. This not necessarily particularly small. There is plenty of space in there, plenty of space for our course design team to really set a stiff test. Anderson Lima, part of that team, or leading that team this week. Matthijs van Asten is still leading the way in this competition. His phase 2 time is 25:70, so that still is the time to beat, and I can only say that that is going to take some serious going to be able to better that time, and it's going to take somebody who is very, very determined for the win in this $35,000 competition. We welcome Catherine Diner next with Amiro BZ. She's already come forward here with Out of the Blue SCF. This horse, primarily her with Amiro BZ. So she will pick up a total score of 6 for the USA. Again, down the order, and the top 3 remain unchanged: Matthijs van Asten, Laura Kraut, and Carl Cook. Carl Cook actually sits 9th and 3rd at the moment. A few riders have slotted in between his 2 rides more recently. Katie Dinan, just to confirm there for you, slots into 54th place. Well, next up we welcome Braden James for Canada. His mount here now is Canandine. Again, a second.
Taking the field next, of course, the 3rd place finish in the $125,000 welcome class here in 2024. Now back in 2025. Here's Jessica Springsteen. Longtime partner Tom Juan.
Next up, we go back to the USA and welcome Jessica Springsteen with her long-term partner, Don Juan van der Donkover. She has had some fantastic results with this horse over the course of her career. Of course, she came forward with Naomi earlier on in the class, and she won this competition last year with that ride. Don Juan, though, she's going a very nice, steady pace here, not racing for the time. He's 16 years old now, a stallion who is Belgian bred. She was 5th in the 5-star Grand Prix of Greenwich with this horse, 14th in the World Cup leg here last year. Nicely through those finishing timers over the final fence, but she will incur those time penalties. And so 7, the total score for Jessica Springsteen. Don Juan van der Donkover, she goes into 57th.
USA to come forward once again now. It's a new ride for her actually this year. Picked up the horse back in the September top 10 in Reconvene 140s. This one
A little later on in the year, she took this one to Leah, Centaur Park and Rabat. Best result being a 10th place at Centaur Park so far. That's good results still in Rabat as well. Just single poles down. She really has jumped a lot of clears. In fact, 4 double clears and then those 2 single faulting rounds with this horse. So very consistent as she now is into our second phase. And remember that time to beat is 25.7. So Natalie Dean needs to say she needs to have a foot to the floor is something of an understatement. She's coming through the double at the 22-second mark. So this is, well, it's a good time. She's making a very good effort here. 28.65 is her time. That will only be enough for 9th at this point. That leading time, 25.7, incredibly quick. Matthijs van Asten looks rather unbeatable at this stage. Sarah Siegel now brings forward Tom Hanks. Well, Sarah motoring there round to fence 3. She's actually got a, she's powerfully around that turn, but not necessarily too pacey. Looks to be aiming to keep that balance and use this as a really nice way to set up for the week. She's not too steady. 42 seconds is your time allowed, and she's well inside there. Now needs to make her mark in phase 2 then. Sarah Siegel coming into this multicoloured oxer at 10. And she's very quick on the turn. Not necessarily the tightest of lines, but she kept the pace up well. And good through the double. Goes on the inside track. And again, it's a very good attempt. It's 28.91. Not long ago, we would have said that was a fantastic time. It is just simply that Matthijs van Asten has gone so fast that it has made us less excited about these 28-second results. Still a very respectable performance, and I'm sure she'll be thrilled with that. So Sarah Siegel will go into 11th place with Tom Hanks. For Canada, next on course is Cassidy Rain with Chiaro. For Cassidy, coming pretty solidly through the double. Plenty of time in hand for phase one. Yes, gets there really nicely. Now we need to be off and running for this second phase. Remember, it has to be seriously quick to take the top spot, and she's just easing round the turn. No, the Longines Oxa, the back rail.
I tell you, he's going to be very, very tough to beat tonight. The rider from the Netherlands. If Laura Kraut and Carl Cook can't catch him, good luck for the rest of the class. But we still got
Cassidy also sitting 34th with her other ride, Jack. Let's then turn back to the USA to welcome Emeline Adamic with Andy's boy, Bretonnier. This one arguably her top ride. Welcome Skylar Wyman now. Again for the USA, first ride here for Skylar. She's had quite the wait. Also was second in the two-star qualifier in Tryon and second in the two-star speed as well. See earlier in the year as well. Very good rollback at the Longines. Oh, what a shame. You just always really want to root for Skylar. She is such a talent. Just that was unlucky, really. Really didn't do too much wrong, and she's good on the clock. 27.57. She knew that with the fence down, she wasn't going to take the win. With the horse, Lola. A horse who, she's a 9-year-old mare by Cardento, owned by Poden Farms. Hillary, of course, an Australian rider, an Olympian from Paris. World Championship rider as well from 2022. Of course, those next World Championships will be held in Aachen next year. This combination were second in the C. Jarvis Insurance Welcome class, Welcome Stake last week. Keeping that and keeps right-handed again through the double. She's not going to take the top spot. Called that a rock. Zazu, though, comes forward with her 14-year-old gelding, with whom was 13th in their last class in Del Mar. She also jumped well in thermal in the past, and here last year was 13th in the 5-star welcome class. Just had one down in phase one in the two-phase. Ah, what a pity. It's the same story again today. Then the final fence in the first phase goes for Zazu Hoffman. And she's out of the running immediately then into 52nd, quite incredibly. As I say, it's a very well-attended competition today. 87, in fact, on our starting order. So thank you evermore. Jumped in Tryon recently for 10th in the two-phase at the 2-star level. As I say, a well-bred horse. Well, he's through phase one, and Aaron Vale is always competitive. How far is he going to go for it today?
Team as well. Riding Piscetta, one of the finest the world has ever seen. So put your hands together for the USA's
Laura Krause. Of course, Laura sitting in second right now, bettered only by Matisse Van Asten. 25.70 time to beat.
Well, we welcome Laura Kraut once again here. This time it was her horse for third, well, that same series in Saint-Tropez for third in the 5-star Grand Prix. Unfortunately, it's a bit to add for time, though, as Laura Kraut takes it a little bit steadier. 7 is the total score. Of course, that time allowed is 42 seconds only. So that puts her down the order. She still sits second, though, with Lady D. Well, Matisse Van Asten is no doubt looking at the remainder of this starting order and wondering if he can hold on to the top spot. It looks ever more likely. His was certainly a very impressive performance. We go, though, onwards to Ansley Wright with Diamanto JTZ, another under-25 competitor. Former North American Youth Championships rider with this horse back in 2023 for individual 14th. Podiumed in Del Mar and in Woodside, of course, that being the new Split Rock Jumping Tour show. And unfortunately, it is the plank again. When these riders have quite a bit of pace up, it's often the case that they're taking the plank down there. So the bell goes once again. Just a single pole for Ansley Wright and Diamanto JTZ into 47th.
Yeah, 6 left to go now. Third of the meter 45. 3-star class here with us actually. That was last week, part of the 3-star jump, and we saw them too, featuring the Welcome Stakes and the big Grand Prix as well. Riding the 14-year-old horse by Birdie, Lihard, good luck. Next up tonight, joining us very shortly, will of course be for Canada. So, time to beat 25.70. Here goes Canada.
Welcoming Vanessa Mannix once again then now for Canada. Vanessa had a brilliant performance with Carmela Z. She sits 6th with that ride at the moment with a time of 28.4. This horse, Lehar, is arguably her more experienced horse, a top ride, if you like. And Vanessa ranks 200th in the world ranking at the moment. Was 3rd in the 3-star speed here last week. Podiumed at Spruce Meadows with Lehar. Had a win in Thermal at the beginning of the year. Was 11th in this 2-phase competition with Lehar last year. But a really brilliant partnership, and great to have a good few Canadian riders at the top or near the top of the leaderboard today. Of course, Lehar also Vanessa's ride for the World Cup final last year. She is home and dry inside the time, and she knows what it takes to put yourself into the top 10 here. She's already in 6th, remember, with Carmela. Now she's off and galloping, and the time she has to beat to take the lead.
Here's Nicole Walker. Speaking of Canadians, let's welcome Nicole to the show arena for the Self-Français bred horse, owning and riding a Coupe de Tremble. 635, first of 5 to go.
Well, continuing with the Canadian riders then, we go onwards to Nicole Walker now, a rider whose star seems to continue to rise. She still seems to be keeping a great run of form and had some very good performances in Toronto. Of course, that Royal Winter Fair last week. She was 5th in the World Cup there with Panther JVH, 5th in the Brickenden Trophy International Challenge, and 4th in the Strength and Speed with A Tout de Tremble, and she brings forward that very horse here this evening. Ranks 143rd in the world. Very accurately ridden. You can see she's immediately looking to the next fence as soon as she's set up and cleared it. Really nice performance there. Just now into this second phase. Remember that time to beat is 25.7, and Nicole Walker is a great speed rider. She took a win with this horse in Caledon and one in Ottawa as well. So if anyone can better Matthijs van Asten's time, it could well be Nicole. She now really drives away from the fence. It's 25.70 to beat. She's the closest we've seen. Is she the closest we've seen? 27.26. Yes, she is, and she'll go into second place. Brilliant ride from Nicole. What a performance. She also has had a long time to wait for her turn this evening, and she's absolutely made it count. Fantastically done to go into second. She could hardly have done more there. We are into the final 10 competitors. 5 remaining, in fact. And Melody Liu is the next of them. Once again for the USA. Gets a little sticky over the first fence. Just needs to be keeping that forward momentum. Her mount, Napoleon van den Daal. They were 4th in the welcome class last week. Of course, that 3-star week of competition that's the precursor to this week's 5-star action. Also 4th in a 3-star Grand Prix in Temecula earlier this year and podiumed in Del Mar, being in another 2-star jump-off class. In this final few moments then, Melody Liu needs to be galloping. She's not quite going to make it to the time, but a lovely double clear to get her week off to a very, very good start indeed. 30.41 puts her into 17th place. And certainly with a field of this size, you know, 85, 87 coming forward, a top 20 finish is a really good place to be. Elisa Broos will be your next rider in with Nas B. 25th ranked under 25 rider in the world. Jumped the World Cup final back in 2023. Silver medalist in 2022 at the North American Youth Championships. And her mount is Nas B. Nas is 10 years old and is by Toulon, owned by Hidalgo LLC. Elisa took on this ride in March of this year, has had a win in Akala in a 4-star winning round class, and second place in Del Mar. Oof, that was very lucky, very, very lucky. Really just, I don't know if she was just chipping in a stride there, but really just got the legs in a tangle, and Nas absolutely incredible footwork from the horse to still clear the fence. That was seriously impressive. Time's looking good for phase 1. Yep, she's got there. Now into this second phase, this jump-off phase. Oh, what a pity. She certainly had luck on her side earlier. The luck slightly ran out there. And she's just... This pair just had a single pole down in last week's 3-star Grand Prix. She's gone wide on the turn into the third fence. Perhaps knows it's caused a good few problems. And there just sort of lets the hindquarters swing out a little bit. Lost the straightness a bit there, but doesn't seem to be a problem for them. Now comes towards the double. Smoothly ridden. I hope this time will be okay. No, not quite, unfortunately. So just a single time penalty for Sarah Lottis and Itulon S. 1 on the board, unfortunately. Nicely ridden, though. Still, the top three remain unchanged. Matties van Asten, Nicole Walker now, and Laura Kraut. They are your top three. Leading time is, of course, still 25.7. There's that result for Sarah Lottis into 38th place. So the time to beat remains unchanged for some time. 25.7 is a serious time to beat. And Jamie Saylor looks to be our final rider in the ring. Jamie's mount is Magic Mike. Magic Mike, a 16-year-old who was a long-term ride for Kyle King, went to Carol Wright. Carol actually jumped this horse in the World Cup qualifier, the World Cup leg here last year for 35th. And Jamie in the saddle since earlier this year. They've had some very good results together, a third in Woodside, but unfortunately, we have had a pole here. Comes and spins into, oh, what a pity. Just couldn't really get the height with the hind legs. And Jamie turns away from the double. What's she going to choose to do here? I've got to say, they've had some really solid results together recently. Good few top tens. And reapproaches. But as ever, this could possibly be the horse's first experience jumping under lights, and that's quite a lot to take in. And certainly a nice educational round is in order and is exactly what is needed. So it does mean that Jamie Saylor comes home with 28 and therefore towards the bottom of the leaderboard, but I'm sure she will be pleased with that educational element of that round. So this then is the final result in this $35,000 C. Jarvis Insurance Two-Phase competition. Matties van Asten is your very well-deserved winner with Orlando van der Afspanning. Huge congratulations to Matties. What a time. Just look at the margin by which he won, 25.7 seconds. Congratulations also to Nicole Walker for second place with Etude de Tremble. 27.26 the time there. And Laura Kraut takes third with Lady D. Great top three. Some of the very best riders in the world, of course, in attendance. Carl Cook takes fourth. Michael Duffy takes fifth. Ali Ramsey in sixth. Vanessa Mannix in seventh. Cian O'Connor eighth. Vanessa Mannix in ninth. Very good day at the office for her. And Elisa Brose rounds out the top 10. This is the rest of our leaderboard, but primarily we must say congratulations to Matties van Asten on this win for the Netherlands with Orlando van der Afspanning. But what is to come for the rest of the week? Well, we are bringing you plenty of action. Of course, this class brought to you on FEI TV. Tomorrow, we have the 5-star welcome competition, also well attended. 64 starters on our order. And that kicks off at 6 p.m. local time, of course, Pacific time here in Los Angeles. And $100,000 on offer for that class. Friday, we bring you the 5-star speed competition. Saturday, of course, is the feature of the week, the Longines FEI World Cup of Los Angeles, with $400,000 on offer for that class. Sunday sees the National Grand Prix then. But thank you so much for joining us. I really do hope that you've enjoyed every second of this competition. It's certainly been a really interesting one. And what an incredible performance from the Dutch rider Matties van Asten to take the win. The prize giving ceremony is anticipated in a few moments' time, so I will leave you with the images of that. And I do hope you'll join us again tomorrow for the welcome class. Enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you are, and I look forward to joining you next time.
Insurance Stakes here this evening. So let's get set and ready to welcome back our prize winners. And here they come. Congratulations. Great to have this man here as part of the 5-star week once again. He's won literally all over the world. He finishes top 8 tonight, riding the 8-year-old horse Pegasus and leading them in for the prize giving. Here we go. We are set and ready, and we can cheer our winners in as they come forward to join us. We really can. Congratulations. Kieran O'Connor, Ireland, 8th with Pegasus. In 7th for Canada, Vanessa Mannix and Carmela Z. 6th, Ali Ramsey, Canada, riding Benita Van Het, Kaisershof Z. Top 5 tonight for Islands, Michael Duffy and the Chassanet Farms, Chili Pepper, HMZ. In 4th, the USA's Carl Cook, Caracol, Della Rock. 3rd, one of the best in the world, the USA's Laura Kraut and Lady D. 2nd, for the home team for Canada, Nikki Walker, Atu de Trembles. And the winner of the big class tonight, the C. Jarvis Insurance Stakes. Well done, riding Orlando van der Asmanning, Matthijs van Asten, the Netherlands.
And of course, joining us for the award presentation, founder and owner of Split Rock Jumping Tour, Derek Braun, and of course, Bella Pizer, presenting on behalf of C. Jarvis Insurance.
Our grateful thanks to Bella and to Derek there for joining. Moving on to the podium part of our prize giving now. The top 3 dismounting and heading to the Netherlands. And congratulations to our winners. We have a toast as well. Thank you very much, Prairie Jouet, as well. They're going to celebrate the podium places there, as you can see. So it's a toast to our top 3, as you can see. Thank you, Prairie Jouet. And as they toast to the victory, please put your hands together for your podium finishers tonight. Our grateful thanks to Prairie Jouet, celebrating the official champagne of the winners' podium. Founded in 1811, the House of Champagne embodies the Art Nouveau spirit, elegance, creative, and free-spirited. We raise the glass to tonight's champions. So thank you, Prairie Jouet.
And Matisse is a true gentleman, pouring the glasses for the ladies on the podium.
But they're all going to draw a big drink. Here we are, 3, 2, 1, big drink. Matthijs, good champagne? There we are. Oh, he's having another one. It must be good. Look at that. Victory tastes good, everybody. Laura, you drank that very quickly. It must be good stuff. So well done, Matthijs. Congratulations to our top 3, to Nikki and to Laura as well. We've had a cheers. We've had a drink. What's next? You guessed it. Victory Gallop. So, I reckon we could get a fist pump tonight. This could be really good here. Matthijs, Nikki, and Laura. Let's see. What have you got? Give us your best fist pump. We are nearly ready. Here we go. We're back. We're on board. It's time for the victory gallop. Matthijs van Asten, the winner, leads them off. Right. Fist pump. Matthijs, give us your best fist pump. Look at that. Hat comes off. Nikki Walker, what have you got? Fist pump. Let's go. Come on, Laura Kraut. Give us your best fist pump. Oh, come on, Laura.
We'd like to thank Yeti for sponsoring that fist pump. Of course, a great backpack going out to the best fist pump of the week.
Anybody else want to win? There we are. Congratulations, Nikki Walker. You've won it so far. You get our vote. And the winner, Matthijs van Asten, Orlando. Come on. Are we ready? Big cheer, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's hear you. Tonight's big winner, and give him a huge send-off, Matthijs van Asten. A huge night of international show jumping, really setting the scene for the rest of the week. Thank you, Jarvis Insurance. Thank you, Longines. Good night from all of us here in Santa Anita.